Cauliflower. I know you are hearing about it everywhere, and I know it is getting turned into just about everything, but don't get bored with it and don't give up on it. It is just delicious, so versatile, and it is a nutrient superhero. So please keep cauliflower on your plate. Today we are making buffalo cauliflower wings just in time for the Super Bowl. So stick around and join me for this next recipe. My name is Judy Matusky. I am a registered dietitian as well as a culinary nutritionist with Athens Nutrition. So welcome to those of you joining live and to those of you who are watching this on the replay. So it's all about buffalo cauliflower wings. And we're gonna go ahead and get started because I want to get these in and out of the oven for you so you can see them. Actually, I actually prepared a little bit ahead of time because we're not gonna have quite enough time to get these done in the oven. All right, but basically it's a 5-ingredient recipe. So we're always 5 ingredients, cooking light with hopefully 5-ish ingredients, and this recipe is exactly 5 ingredients. So we started with a head of cauliflower. I went ahead though and cut it up just to save a little bit of time. It says, I think the recipe says 6 cups, but it's about an average size head of cauliflower. I have it cut up in this bag, but I did want to show you real quick, when you go to cut up the cauliflower, so you're going to be breaking off the florets, and they're going to break off relatively big because you want these in bite-sized pieces. That's the whole point, as a little bite-sized snack. So just take the cauliflower, kind of break it up into bigger pieces, and then just take a small paring knife and just go down through it and just sort of find where you can separate it, kind of naturally, because you don't really want to be breaking this up into a bunch of small pieces. You want to keep them in bite-sized pieces, so that you want to take your knife and a little bit surgically kind of go down and separate them. And so trying to get them all about the same size, which I don't know, an inch or 2 or so. But so just take each one and then just separate them gently into bite-sized pieces. And that way you'll have them all pretty much the same size on the baking sheet, and then they'll bake all at the same temperature and at the same time. All right, so to get started, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little batter for these cauliflower wings. And it's really just water, flour, and garlic powder. That's gonna be our batter. So I already have a cup of water in here, and we're gonna add just a cup of regular all-purpose flour. This is one where I probably would not use, a whole wheat flour. Just use regular all-purpose flour. And if you need this to be gluten-free, then by all means use a gluten-free flour mix in place. So like I just have one here. This is Bob's Red Mill all-purpose flour mix. It's probably hard to see with the lighting, but any of those would be fine. So if you want to keep this gluten-free, then definitely use a gluten-free flour mix. So we're gonna put a cup of flour in here, and then it's just 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. All right. You don't even need salt and pepper, it's just the garlic powder, the flour, and the water. And then we're just turning this into a batter. This is what we're gonna put our cauliflower pieces into. And you do want to set your oven temperature ahead of time, because you want this oven's going to be ripping hot. So you're setting your oven to about 450 degrees because you want these little cauliflower bites as they're battered to really, kind of crisp up a little bit in the oven and brown a little bit. So definitely get your oven cranked up to 450 degrees. And then we've got our batter just mixed together. Super simple, super easy. All right. I'm gonna just put this in the sink. And then you're just gonna take your cauliflower pieces that you've already created, and we're just gonna pour them right into the batter. All right. And then just kind of stir them around, because you really want to get these pieces coated with the batter, because that's key. That really is what makes the difference here. So that's what sort of turns them into cauliflower wings. It's this batter. So the garlic powder is really bringing a nice flavor to the batter, and then the flour is helping to coat these wings, and it gives it just the texture you need and what you're kind of looking for when you're looking for like a Super Bowl snack. And this is just a nice addition. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have your regular Super Bowl snacks, but does everything have to be fried and dripping in butter and sour cream? Maybe for you it does, but for me, I think it's nice to have at least one or two options that are just a little bit lighter, but also really tasty. You know, I think everyone, your wing-loving friends, are gonna enjoy these just as much as their regular wings. So don't discount them just because it's cauliflower. All right, so we've got these pretty well coated. So you really do want to spend a little time mixing them around, making sure that that batter's kind of getting in there in between the little cauliflower crevices and really well coated. All right, and that's looking pretty good. All right, so now all we need to do is just put them on, and I would line your baking sheet with something if you just don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning your baking sheet. So I have parchment paper on mine. You could line it with, if you're gonna line it with foil, I would definitely spray that foil with a little cooking spray before you put these on, because I think they'll still stick on the foil. And then you're just gonna take each piece of cauliflower that's coated, and you're gonna drop it onto your baking sheet. And you don't wanna overcrowd this. You know, if I have a really big head of cauliflower, I end up using 2 baking sheets to bake this off, because you want room for these to kind of breathe so that they kind of brown and dry out a little bit and crisp up a little bit. And if you overcrowd them on the baking sheet, they're going to end up steaming, and that's really not what we're looking for. So if you're finding that you just can't quite get them all on one baking sheet, you might have to do 2. All right, so basically that's it. So we're just, lining these up on your baking sheet. Now, just for time, I did go ahead and bake some off. So let me just show you this. So this cauliflower was from the same head. So these are just some pieces that I baked off ahead of time, and you can still see, like, I have all of these, and then I have all of those pieces that I just showed you on camera. That's a decent amount of cauliflower bites. So these buffalo cauliflower wings, it makes a good amount to serve a group. So when you bake them, they go in at 450 degrees, and then it takes about 20 minutes, pretty much straight on 20 minutes. That's exactly how long it took. Now I have some butter here in my microwave melting. So to make the buffalo sauce, the hot sauce, typically it is just mostly butter with some hot sauce added to it, so it is really rich. We're using just 3/4 of a cup of hot sauce. I used Frank's, just traditional hot sauce. I have so many other hot sauces in my refrigerator on the door. I'm sure you do as well. Any hot sauce that you like is fine. So but it's about 3/4 of a cup. So just pour that into a bowl, and then instead of using an entire stick of butter, we're just using 1 tablespoon, and that's really all you need. It gives just enough richness to this hot sauce without it being just so super heavy in butter. All right, and then we're just gonna stir this around. So that's super easy. This is your sauce that's gonna go right on top of your cauliflower wings. So remember, we're coating the cauliflower, we're baking the cauliflower in a 400-degree oven, and then the finishing steps are 2 coats of this hot sauce. So you're taking a little pastry brush, which just makes it a little bit easier, and you're just gonna dab this hot sauce right over your battered, dipped, roasted cauliflower bites, all right? And then what you'll do is you're gonna wanna put this on, and then you're gonna want to let it sit for maybe a few minutes, and then you're gonna go back and you're gonna do a second coat. So you're double coating these with the hot sauce. What I would do is you just, to get both sides, you can just flip these over, and then you'll coat the other side, and then you can coat both sides again. So you really kind of want to get them sauced up and then this will sort of glaze them. It just will glaze them. It sort of dries on the cauliflower. And that's it. So it's, your cauliflower is roasted. You're gonna use your hot sauce with that little bit of butter glaze, and you're gonna do a glaze on one side where, we flip these over. Let me just grab so if you flip them over, then you're gonna just wanna do the same thing on the other side. And the other side of the cauliflower is gonna be a little bit more brown, because obviously that's the side that was down when it was roasting in the oven. And then do the same thing. We're just gonna take that sauce and we're just gonna coat this other side. And then you can plate them. So to plate them, what I would do is I would do some sliced celery, some cucumber slices, and then put them just on the plate with your vegetables. And that vegetables, you know, again, that's nice to have obviously the celery and the cucumbers. It just brings a nice freshness and crunch to this, because it is going to be a little spicy because we are using obviously a hot sauce here. And so you'll just kind of plate them up, and then I would just take a little sprinkle of some blue cheese, just a little bit. You don't have to have it drenched in blue cheese, but just a little sprinkle of blue cheese. And here you have this incredible game day snack. So please enjoy it. It's delicious, and it just happens to be really healthy. If you like these videos, please share them with friends and family. We would love to have more of you in our community. We're always, the more the better. And if you want more recipes, if you want to stay connected with us and find out about when we're offering courses or we're putting out any new information, just jump over to Athens Nutrition's website. So it's athensnutrition.com, and just go ahead and sign up for our free newsletters and free nutrition information. We're putting stuff out every week. Lots of great things to be on top of. So please just, you know, go ahead, jump over, sign up, and we'll make sure that we get a lot of really good information out to you. So again, Super Bowl, here we come. You know, if you need to bring something to a party, this might be a really good one. And you enjoy the rest of the week. Stay well, stay healthy, and I will see you next week.